Should I make a sign? Go. Hey, how are you?
Oh, it's fine. Sorry.
No.
And then maybe you can borrow one of those fancy little doohickeys. See that little red, that's a stool, you can sit on that. Look, it's on wheels, but we don't want to wheel around.
What do you mean it's helping? It'll roll forward.
It's rolling.
But it's not, I don't think it's wheels.
It feels like they are, but they're not.
Everybody, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Linden Board of Education. It's always wonderful to see so many people come out to the board meeting in support of our students and our community. Board President Ms. Luck has a previous commitment tonight, so you get to see me fumble through my first board meeting as the Vice President. And if I make any mistakes, the President and CEO of the Complaint Department, Mrs. Callard right here, will take your form. I think she's got some forms for complaints, so. Seriously though, if you do plan to make a public comment, you can see Mrs. Callard. Please complete a public comment card and you can give it to her as the recording secretary if you haven't already done so. And a fun fact, that was our first time hitting a gavel, and Mrs. Callard said this thing's been around for a long time. We looked at the bottom of it and it says, presented to the Board of Education, November 11th, 1963. So, yeah, from the Industrial Arts Department. Are they still around? Yeah, so over 60 years old, pretty fun. Okay, at this time, I would please ask that you silence your cell phones and remove your hats as you stand with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll go ahead and take roll call, Mrs. Cameron.
Haney, Hanson, Montague,
Present.
Murphy, Odell, Ramberg, and Moore.
As we said, Ms. Luck has a previous commitment tonight. Fellow board members, you have an agenda in front of you, so I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda. Do I have a motion? The motion has been moved and seconded. Move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we'll move on to board reports, starting with our student board representatives. We're blessed to have Ms. Story and Ms. Clark here. Thank you for joining us. And whoever wants to go first, go ahead. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's still healthy. So we wanted to start off with the high school tonight, and just FYI, there's not a lot going on in the community like schools kind of way, so we got what we could. So just a reminder that the Student Council's MASC and MAHS States Conference is this weekend, February 22nd through the 24th, and then another reminder that the ski trip is February 28th.
The high school is also holding its winter dance March 1st from 7 to 10 p.m. in the high school gym. As you know, it'll be a formal dance, and now tickets are being sold at both lunches for $15. The class apparel is being sold through our school store until February 21st. This is a fundraiser for LHS's Student Council. Every class has their respective color of black, red, gray, or white, and you can choose from many different options of t-shirts or long sleeve shirts, etc. The decided prom theme is Hollywood Glam. The 2026 class officers are working on getting decorations and other necessities in place. And students on the first semester honor roll received donuts during Eagle Time last Wednesday to show appreciation for their hard work. Also, basketball is going strong heading into the postseason. The girls are competing in the Flint Metro Championship this Friday, and the boys have a crossover match tomorrow against Owasso. Wrestling also won their Divisional II Regional Championship for the first time since 2007. The team qualified for the D2 state tournament, and some are going to individual states at Fort Field.
Okay, for the middle school, most of my updates are gonna be in March, so I'll let you guys know that further down, but then it's just a reminder, for anyone also, that, February 25th is the EDP field trip, so make sure that everyone is reminded of that.
And Central is still running their school store as a fundraiser for their student council, and they are still planning their Shamrock Shuffle, which will be sometime in March.
Linden Elementary, so they're launching their March Reading Month activities. So they're gonna have a theme reveal on February 28th for their math and reading event, and it's scheduled for that is scheduled for the evening of March 4th. And then they're also hosting a PBS assembly that will match their theme. So, and then there's much more to come after.
And at Hyatt, I worked their Cuba's Carnival 2 weekends ago, and although not as many people came as last year, it was still a very successful event. Kids enjoyed the games, and especially the inflatables. It was very well run all around. And teachers are still busy planning for Reading Month as well. This year's theme, as you know from our previous meeting, will incorporate Hyatt's building construction projects.
Okay, and then lastly, it's Argentine Elementary. So February 20th is the family sledding night, 5:30 to 7. I know that you wanted to hear some about that too. And then February 26th is the 3 and 4 year old parent enrollment meeting for the 2025-2026 school year. And then February 26th, 6 to 7 is the kindergarten information night at Argentine Elementary for all of the 4-year-olds. And that is all we have for you tonight.
Okay, thanks so much, Mr. and Ms. Clark. Not only is it great that you put so much time into your report, and I liked how you did the back and forth, and obviously coming here to inform the board after one day of school, I really appreciate it, so thank you. At this time, we'll move along to our superintendent report, Mr. Sosowski.
Thank you, President Montague, and I'd like to welcome everybody here this evening. I do have a couple things to report out on. In regards to public comments, Michelle Thomas, our assistant superintendent, did make contact with Ms. Casali to discuss her public comments from our last meeting on standardized testing. As far as snow days, yes, as people say, we live in Michigan. The weather conditions this year have been unpredictable and a little extreme at best. To date, we've had 7 snow days, or 7 days where we've canceled school due to the conditions. So what does this mean? Under current law, public schools may cancel up to 6 school days per year due to emergencies, snowfall, cold temperatures, squirrels knocking out power, etc. That was a joke for those people. Remember, this squirrel that knocks out our power every now and then. School districts may ask the Michigan Department of Education to forgive an additional 3 school days. If we find ourselves in a position where schools cancel for the safety of our staff and students, emergencies, and/or act of God days, we will cancel. And we will look to submit for a waiver once winter is done. So again, we have 2 more days left that could potentially qualify under the waiver. If they don't qualify under the waiver, if the state doesn't grant that, then yeah, we will have to make up those days. So just want to inform people where we're at with that process. As far as the 3 districts, the spring 3-district school board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, March 12th at Lake Fenton. I know I've heard from Katie Odell and Tabitha Ramberg, and they've indicated that they could attend. As a reminder, we can have no more than 3 board members in attendance. So if there's another board member that is interested in going, please RSVP to Michelle Callard as soon as you can. And again, the agenda for that meeting will kind of focus on the history, if you will, or what the 3-district consortium does as a collective group. Board workshop, unfortunately, the winter weather that blew in last Wednesday, we had to cancel the Linden Community School Board workshop. I have talked with Board President Luck and the MASB, and we have penciled in Wednesday, April 16th as a rescheduled date. This past Monday, February 17th, Ellen Kissel took the LCS administration and school resource officers through an emergency alert and reunification training. The training was more on the technology side, as Synergy, which is our student management system, has a module called Break the Glass. The system is designed to help with internal communication and reunification of students in an emergency situation. Overall, the training was beneficial and helpful. I know the young ladies down there talked about our wrestling team, so we wish them the best at the state meet, as well as our other teams competing in state action. And then finally, I will be out of the district on February 26th, 27th, and 28th to attend the Genesee County Area Superintendents Association's retreat. Topics that will be covered during this retreat include artificial intelligence, planning for the dyslexia law implementation, special education, budget forecasting, enrollment updates, and a huge focus that we have this year as a superintendent's group is on academic improvement best practices and collective efficacy. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Soselski. Now we are on to our board reports. Do any board members have reports this evening? Okay. Just a quick comment. So I did attend the board president's workshop that was last Friday and Saturday. Took the day off on Friday, full day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it was really informative. There's a lot of new board presidents from around the state, and there's a few that were not presidents like me, but definitely a good experience, especially to get to fill in here. But we talked a lot about the important responsibilities that we have as board members and leading the board. And probably one of my favorite parts was when we had MASB's attorney, Brad Vanasek, talk about all of the legal aspects around the importance of how we do and why we do what we do. And it's really great to see that he's going to be the one that's actually leading our workshop that was supposed to be last week. That's now rescheduled for April 16th, like Mr. Soselski mentioned. And then also, I'll be attending the Genesee County Associate School Board Members special presentation tomorrow at the GISD on building safer communities. I think some others might also be attending, so I'm looking forward to that. And now I'd be remiss in the absence of Miss Luck if I didn't express something that she always says, and that we're now here at the best part of any board meeting, and I can't disagree with her, which is our student recognitions. So we will go with the order that I have them here. I believe we're starting with Central Elementary. This is Northwood.
Good evening. I would like to introduce Miss Elmer and Miss Welch and allow you the opportunity to meet our student of the month, Alex. I'm a bit shorter. All right, this is Alex Turtle, and I'm proud to say I'm one of the first teachers who's ever pronounced his last name right on the first try. Alex is an amazing student. He comes into the room every day, ready to learn, and more importantly, ready to help other people learn. I made this statement today, I think sometimes he's a more patient teacher than I am. And I don't think that's a false statement. He is great helping other people, he's great helping teachers out, and he's always in a positive attitude, always ready to step up, and he's always ready to lead by example. Could not ask for a better student, and everybody wants an Alex in their classroom.
Exactly what she just said. I'm so honored to recognize Alex as our student of the month. From the moment he walks into our classroom, he's always setting a positive example, and he is always offering to help and constantly demonstrating our SOAR expectations. He takes his learning very seriously and models strong study habits for others, but beyond all of that, he's a true friend to all of his peers. He's very creative, and he has such an amazing personality and unwavering kindness. It makes him someone that his classmates admire and appreciate. Every day he brightens my morning with his enthusiasm and my afternoon with a cheerful, "Have a great day, Miss Welch." I truly cannot imagine our classroom without him, and I'm so proud to celebrate him tonight.
Congratulations, Alex. I love the jacket. Great to hear so many positive comments about your kindness and leadership in the classroom. Thank you so much. Now we'll move on to Linden Elementary. Do we have Mrs. Stricker here?
Good evening. I'm very pleased and proud to introduce our staff members, Michelle Packer and Heather Nyman, and they will introduce you to our student of the month.
I am so pleased to select Linden as our student of the month, and you'll soon see why. Raymond has been forced to embrace a lot of newness. He's new to our school this year, but he quickly put his best foot forward and became a valued part of our school and our classroom community. He's been with his foster family for a year, and we're also celebrating his adoption this month. He has slowly opened his heart and navigated how his family works to support and love each other. His day has included new staff and teachers, and our ray of sunshine gives us the respect and kindness, smiles and hugs as he works hard to listen to what we want and fixes what he needs to do to grow himself and his mind. He's needed to find new friends, and he's chosen ones who live together and shown them that he can also be a caring friend. And finally, Raymond has excelled academically. New topics quickly become easier for Raymond. He dives right in and then listens for ways to improve without complaint. And his reading level has skyrocketed, and his critical thinking skills are growing leaps and bounds. And I'd like to end with this little anecdote from class yesterday. In our character education, we were talking about how to become better people and discussing 3 types of strength: physical, mental, and emotional. We defined each, we took a poll as to which you thought you possessed. And I was really wondering how Raymond was gonna self-assess, and my heart was so full that he knew that he has all 3. And I thought that right away. He has all 3. He works hard at all 3 of his sports, his chores, the best ways to deal with the life that we have, and sometimes that's the most important thing. I'm proud of you, Raymond. And celebrating you is so easy. Raymond, you're kind of a big deal. It's true. So, as Mrs. Stanford said, this is the 2nd time I've been with you to celebrate something special. Yes. Yeah. So first, Mrs. Stanford and I were invited to your adoption party. And let me just mention that I think almost all of your classmates were there with you. And that tells me a lot about you, because you are a wonderful friend. And that was an example of how they wanted to be with you and celebrate you. So I'm proud of you for being a wonderful friend, and how you care for others and they cared back at you at your party and every day at school. So back to that party, as Mrs. Stanford mentioned, prior to your mom and dad, you had a different mom and dad. And I think you've experienced more, Raymond, than many of us here have in your short, young life. And family and home means something extra special for you. And that's really something to admire about you, and how you've experienced all of that. And here you are, you're still smiling with this happy spirit. Yes? And yes, it's true, you are our ray of sunshine. So, to wrap this up, I am really so lucky to be your teacher with Mrs. Packer, and I love reading with you and writing with you, and all of your hard work. Your practice at home, your practice with Mrs. Packer has helped grow your brain as a reader. And do you know that in the time you've been with us at school, you have grown a whole school year as a reader and half a year. That's a pretty big deal. I know. So, thank you for working hard. I am so proud of you, and together we can keep shining. Good?
Congratulations, Raymond. We're so excited to hear that you found your forever home and that you found a home here at Linden, so welcome aboard. Nice to have you.
If I may, as is that, I want to just let the board know how awesome of a school Linden has been. Your teachers there, Ms. Packer and Ms. Nyman, has been amazing. You can't thank the school enough and the support of the Linden schools. So just a gratitude from our family to everybody here that's made this possible with Linden.
No, thank you. I'm an adoptive parent too, so I really feel for you. That's awesome. It's a wonderful thing you've done. Okay, we're going to move on to our next recipient for Hyatt Elementary with Mr. Strickert.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for allowing us to come tonight. I am blessed, to say the least, but it's my pleasure because I get to do this. And I miss doing this as a teacher, but now as a principal, I get to recognize Mr. Keegan Bain as our second grade Hyatt Hero Student of the Month for Mr. Miller. And although Mr. Miller can't be here tonight, he took the time to kind of sit down with me, and we sat down together and put some remarks together I'd like to share about why this fantastic young man is here before you. So Keegan is a shining example of what it means to be dedicated and hardworking Hyatt Hero. In fact, when we get done here, you're going to wrestling practice. Yeah. He's not slowing down. He goes above and beyond everything he does, consistently demonstrating soar expectations. He's an incredible classmate. He's helpful, honest. You demonstrate integrity and kindness every day, and he stands out with your friends. And I'm going to give you this. Okay, you're looking at this too from my notes, but you get to keep this. And he's just truly a leader in his classroom, and you're a role model. And do you know what all this means right now so far? As I read this, I thought you're thinking, what does this mean? Everything I'm saying on here is basically that you're a genuine, awesome, wonderful human being, and we want you to keep being that role model for your friends, so that they too can be like that. So that someday you all are sitting in these seats where I'm at, and then you can take over and continue to lead. It's pretty impressive. He loves mathematics. He's making decisions, your positive choices. When you're not doing that, he wants to be at recess, or he wants to be playing football. You're committed to being that kind of person that we want everyone to become. And with these kinds of traits, you've got a tremendous amount of potential right now in the future. He's either going to be an NFL player, or he's going to be an engineer. I'm encouraging you to do both. But congratulations, and before I give you the certificate, you got the pizza on the back, and big shout out again. I thought this was pretty cool. He had to do a student interview sheet with his teacher. And so he had circle words that described him, talked about his friends, his favorites, and all that. And I think that was wonderful. But what really struck me was, you need to get this on a t-shirt, right? and have it made, and then maybe I'll help you sell these things, but for no profit. He was asking questions, and one of the things that he says, if you have a chance to make a difference, take it. Man, that's deep. That hits me. So, but anyway, I'm proud of you. High five. Congratulations. All right, thank you to your family for coming tonight, and just who you are as a person. All right?
Congratulations, Keegan. We appreciate all your hard work and integrity, and good luck at wrestling, and keep going out there and making a difference. That's awesome. Okay, and now we are on to Linden Middle School. Mr. Enders.
Thank you for the opportunity to come up here and present our Linden Middle School students. But before I do that, I want to say congratulations to all of the recipients tonight. It's a big honor. Keep it up in the classroom, and for you younger students, we'll see you in a few years someday. So I'd like to introduce our Linden Middle School Student of the Month, Emily Baggett, and Mrs. Molnar is going to present on her behalf.
Okay, so as these things go, you pick a student and you put out the email to the team and say, hey, what should I add? And you get these lovely things. You get like, Emlyn is a helpful and kind student who always shows respect to both her peers and the teacher. She's willing to work with anyone on group projects and assignments, ensuring that everyone feels included and supported. Emlyn takes the initiative in advocating for herself by asking questions to clarify her understanding, demonstrating her commitment to doing her best in class. Emlyn's positive attitude and strong work ethic make her a valuable member of the classroom community. All those nice, beautiful things we expect to hear. But then the other day, Mrs. Beckman hadn't responded yet. And for those of you who don't know, Brenda Beckman she just makes me smile every day. She works so hard and she loves so hard. I don't know if it always comes across like in this really obvious way to everyone, but that woman, it just cracks me up. She comes rushing through the door and she said, I have not responded to your email and I'm so sorry, I just don't know what to say. And I was like a little surprised. I'm like, okay, cool. I've got enough here, like I'm good. I can talk for a while, trust me. But she goes, it's just that she's just like about perfect. She's just like perfect. Like, what do you say? Oh, she's so smart. She's so helpful. She's like what you'd want if you had a daughter. And I was like, that's what you say, Brenda. That's what you say. So there was that. I'm gonna ask you to bear with me for just a moment while I talk about seating charts, because I know you all like came here to hear my seating chart philosophy, but here we go. Here it is. Yes, it's important to get kids mixed up and hearing other perspectives and meeting new friends, so I try to mix it up sometimes. But for the most part, in my class, we sit in tables of 4, and each kid gets to quarterly say who they would prefer to sit by. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, on an anonymous survey, because you know what happens if you don't do that. And then I pour through that data and I try to make sure that each kid gets to sit by at least one person that they're really comfortable with, because then they'll be vulnerable and they'll learn together and they'll ask questions. And I hate doing the data, but I think it's so important. And first of all, lots of people wanted to sit by you, just so you know, kind of a pain, but that's okay. Because you can't honor all those requests. But, okay, so now I'm back on speech. Promise. Okay. So I mention this because Emlyn kind of makes me hate my seating chart policy. After the initial 2 seating charts, the preferences, and therefore the seats, become somewhat static. I dislike this because I wish every kid got to sit by Emlyn. In the 20-odd years I've been teaching, I've seen a few cases where people's lives have been completely changed by their relationship with one particular student or one particular teacher. I believe Emlyn is that potential life changer for a student. I feel like I've seen it happen in my class this year. She's the epitome of a quiet leader, but I've seen her influence spread to those around her in my class. Students who are lucky enough to sit by and therefore work with Emlyn Baggett are more focused. Their scores increase. They don't get in trouble, they smile, they laugh gently, and they seem happy in class. Emlyn is exceedingly kind. She's respectful and patient with her classmates. She has a great sense of humor and is adorably humble. Like right now, you just look really uncomfortable. And she's probably like a little bit confused because I don't really talk to you too much in class, because when groups are working, I'm like, let them cook. You know, I am the biggest distractor in my class sometimes, so I'm just like, let her do her thing, she's doing better than I am. Okay, but anyway, so she is a room changer in the best sense. Thank you so much. And I'm so proud to get to announce you as Student of the Month for Team 6A.
Congratulations, Emily. Those are some awesome words. It sounds like we just need to have you on a rotation for the seating chart. Every day you switch. That'd be awesome. Congratulations. And it sure says you can, which is awesome in itself. Okay, last but not least, Linden High School with Mr. Gates.
Thanks for having us. Congratulations to all you guys. Mrs. Draper will talk more about Layla, but I got to meet her twice today. I don't get to run across all kids all the time, but one impression she's made of me, so 2 times I'm going to speak today. So Mrs. Draper will speak more.
Good evening. So
since we've been sitting here tonight, and I've just been chatting with Layla, she's been here at Linden since 3rd grade, and I just realized she's an old hat at this because she just told me this is the 3rd time she's been here to be presented as Student of the Month. So that in itself is on behalf of Mrs. Slater and myself, I'm excited to present Layla for Linden High School Student of the Month. Layla's a freshman here at Linden High School who brings a lot of positive energy to the classroom. She's an extremely genuine young lady who is polite, kind, and dedicated. We always look forward to Layla's friendly smile and desire to learn. It's impossible to have an interaction with Layla without walking away and feeling fortunate to have her as a student. I think one day Mrs. Slater and I were sitting in class, and I think you were struggling with a concept, and you kept at it, and when you were done, I was thinking most students would be frustrated, and you just had this big smile on your face, like, thank you so much for all your help, that was so nice. And you walked away, and both Mrs. Slater and I looked at each other and were like, oh my God, she makes us love our job. So we just really appreciate having her as a student, and I'm honored to give her her 3rd Student of the Month award since she's been here.
Congratulations on your 3-peat, Layla, that's awesome. Well, that ends the best part of the board meeting, so with that, we really appreciate all of you coming out, even our teachers and administrators. We know a lot of you probably had a long day with work and school and work and all those things, so thanks again for coming out. We're just going to pause for a couple minutes in case you want to exit, take some pictures in the hallway or anything. We do have some more board meetings to go. You are more than welcome to stay, but we will, again, pause for a minute or two in case you would like to exit. Students, if you're here for class, you need to stay.
Hi.
Okay, continuing on, we do not have any administrative updates, so that brings us to public comments. Do we have any public comments, Mrs. Catlin?
We do have one,
I do have a couple questions. I know we're all super excited about, the Eastern districts this year. But a little bit concerned. I feel there's just really not. So my question is there a meeting in the process? Do we have someone lined up to take care of it? I know that we lease the field in the summer. Do those funds go to support putting the field back together? We've played travel baseball for many, many years. I know what it takes to get those fields together. I know what the funds require to get those fields together. But I'm a little concerned that, we're doing a lot of fundraising on our own. But just wondering what the whole process is. What does that look like? And how can we make it a great experience? I've heard all of these academic awards. I happen to have a child who loves sports. Really, school, that's what gets him through school, is sports. And I just want to make it the best experience we can make it, not just for my children, but for the children at home. So, just really looking for some numbers there.
Okay, thank you. I did not give my spiel beforehand, but we will follow up on answering your question before the next board meeting, either me, Ms. Luck, or Mr. Sussman.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, all right. And next on our agenda is the consent agenda with the minutes from the last meeting, invoices for January, the personal summary sheet, and the school choice resolution that we discussed. Do we have a motion and support? Support. It has been moved and seconded, so we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to action items where we have two. The first one is around purchasing some additional Wi-Fi access points. The board was provided some information in our board packet. And Mr. Soselsky, would you like to provide some comments?
Sure, and I know Chris Horsley, our director, is here tonight too to help out with any questions or comments that may be made. But yes, we are asking the board to approve the purchase of additional Wi-Fi access points for all of our buildings. And again, these basically would put us in a position where all classrooms would be covered, and even in case of a failure of one access point to another. So really excited about that. In regards to cost, with the E-rate discount, the total amount for bond dollars would be a bond purchase would be about $68,000. So Chris, do you have anything else to add? Oh yeah, Chris, I'm sorry, my fault. Wait till.
Yeah, sure. So it is the administrative recommendation to approve the funding against the bond to improve the Wi-Fi access points. Do we have a motion and support? It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Yeah, go ahead and share your information.
The information I had is just, what Russ showed you. This is going to be expand the existing access points and also replace a lot of the old ones that we had at the same time. So we're going to be adding and replacing, so that's why there's so many.
And as you can see, board, we did go. Chris went through a bid process. Looks like four bidders completed the bid process. Actually 6, but 2 of them were incomplete. So going through that process, Chris was able to really hone in on the type of system that we needed that works with our current system, and obviously for the best price available.
Yeah, this is adding to the existing system that we already have, so it's just purchasing the access point hardware that you see it being up in the scene right there. So it's just a matter of configuring and then adding to the existing system. This is the most affordable way to complete the access point install that started in 2018 in the district. So this will really just kind of put a ball on top of that. So.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Oh, sorry, Mr. Murphy, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Horsley, for the efforts to get us the best possible price, as well as meet the needs of the district. The routers or units that are being replaced, is there any other life use for those, or are they just?
It's possible that we could offer them to another district that may have, that may be still running older equipment and maybe for like $10 a piece, something like that. We could do that. It would be substantial. The reason I'm looking at replacing them is because these older generation ones are starting to fail. So I've had probably close to a dozen failures since I've been here in 4 years of these. So it's getting to a point where some of them will die and we'll actually lose access to 3 or 4 classrooms Wi-Fi coverage because we have one access point covering that location. So that's why we really want to go one-to-one in every room, because now we have one-to-one Chromebooks, which we didn't have in 2018 when the original system was put in place.
So basically, there's no need to keep any around for like spare parts or?
No, these are being, the old ones are being, we would dispose of them or we would sell them.
There's no trade-in offer?
No, nothing like that.
Well, I personally would encourage you to put it out there for other districts.
And I do have some contacts for some recycling companies that do buy old technology. I certainly can put a feeler out there and see if they're interested. I have no problem with that. I do that with some of the Chromebook stuff, so I certainly will do that for you.
Okay. And like I said, the price looks pretty good. Came in well under expected, or?
About where we expected, because we had been purchasing some access points, like for example, multi-purpose building has all the new ones that we're going to be putting in the rest of the building. They already have the new stuff, so we were able to buy some up until this point. This purchase though is just the big package where on phase 3 funding we were waiting for this to come out for this. So
Okay, well, it looks like we got some more money to spend other ways on bonds, so that's good. Thank you.
Any other comments? Yeah, this is great. Appreciate all the work that you put into this. Obviously, I can tell you in my home or even in other buildings where I go, if you have crummy Wi-Fi, it's disappointing for everybody. So I really like the idea of having it backed up in all of our locations, so it's great.
Yeah, and just one more thing to just point out, the purchase price of the devices is the $113,000, and then after our E-rate discount, that's the $68,000 approximately with what we billed against the bond. So we would be responsible for the $113 to start, but then we can refund for the rest at a later point, which we could apply back to the bond. So very normal. We've gone through this every year almost for E-rate stuff. So.
Okay. Thank you. Well, with that, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And our second action item is for the Series 3 bond purchase acceptance resolution. Again, the board was provided some information in our board packet. And Mr. Soselski, do you have any other comments?
No. Again, on February 6th, the bond sale for the 25 school building site bond, which we call Series 3, not to exceed the $17 million. Took place, competition was strong in comparison. 7 bids were received for the 2025 bonds. BOK Financial Securities was the winning bidder. They provided a true interest cost of 3.85% on the totality of the bonds. And I actually had a meeting with Baker Tilly today. They did 2 bond sales today, and the max bids they had in those 2 bond sales was 2. So we hit it right on February 6th.
Okay. Thank you. With that, do we have a motion in support of the administrative recommendation?
So moved.
Support.
Has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Mr. Selsky, would you like to add any goods and bads about the process? Sounds like the bidding climate was strong. Did we get a rate that was better than expected, well expected?
It was better than expected, and when I say that, when we look at true interest cost, for example, 3.9 would have been a good rate in the current market on that day and that time. And so, and I couldn't give you numbers of what they were the week before. I can tell you in comparison to the other 3 bonds, series, this was the highest. I think our first one was 3.2, and then we did a 3.4 true interest cost, and now we're at 3.8. So again, the market is what it is, but in comparison to where other school bonds have been sold, yes, Baker Tilly, True Law, BOK, I felt very good after listening and hearing, and we actually could see the bid process on the screen. Very happy in the end with this result.
So what does that mean when you pay a higher interest rate? Are you getting less money towards the bond, or you pay more for the bond and receiving it as far as to the taxpayer? Is the taxpayer paying a larger bill in the end because the interest rate is
No.
higher?
No. The taxpayer is seeing their rate based on property taxes.
So does that mean there's less proceeds?
I'm sorry?
Does that mean there's less proceeds coming towards the?
Nope.
So
It basically is, and again, I can't get into the financial details of what coupon 1, coupon 2 means and all that good stuff. I just don't know that. But we, as a district, sold the $17 million in bonds.
Mm-hmm.
And so I couldn't even tell you how the true interest costs. I can tell you a little about interest, but not true interest. Because again, you're looking at the interest cost, because when you start bringing coupons in and raising that interest cost, so the buyer, can go and sell those bonds and make their money. And again, they're making money on us because we've got to pay that back. So I couldn't tell you how that equals out. I can find out. I couldn't tell you how that equals out as far as 3.2 true interest costs that we paid in Series 1, what that means to a taxpayer in Series 2. I know that as a district, we got our $17 million that we asked for. And so I couldn't tell you what that meant in regards to the financial aspect of it.
Well, I guess I'm just curious, who comes out as the losers and winners in this process of selling bonds? I mean, if you're saying the taxpayer in the end will not pay any more, even though you're paying a higher rate for your bonds, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Seems like you've got a bigger chunk to pay back, but, or you subtract it off what's sold, is, I mean, the district approved $55.8 million or something, I don't know, of sales, of bonds, of money. And so it's obviously paid for through these bond sales. So I always kind of just wondered how it shakes out.
Yeah, I couldn't
Process.
I can find out for you.
Okay.
As far as that winner loser, I can find out.
Yeah.
I'll ask it. But
Well, it sounds like we were at least in the time frame of now, kind of a winner relative to other districts that have been not as much of a winner as we were on 1 and 2.
Sure.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have motion to support. With that, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. There are no discussion items and no closed session, so I believe at this time, 6:45, I get to hit the gavel for the second time, and this meeting is adjourned. Students, you can bring your forms up, and any board member can sign them.